This is planet Earth. It has beings on it. These beings have created civilizations built on laws, sciences, and arts. The latest and greatest law of Western civilization is the Constitution of the United States. On September 24th and 25th, 2011, a conference was held in Boston, Massachusetts at Harvard University. It brought together law professors, activists, and think tanks from across the country and political spectrum. What follows are clips of attendees discussing whether or not the United States of America should hold a national convention.
All right, hello, my name is Eli Gottlieb. I live around here, but I'm originally from the New York, New Jersey area. Mets fan, don't kill me. And I came here because I'm very much in favor of a constitutional convention. Our original constitution was written when we were a semi-democratic republic mainly run by pretty much a landed aristocracy, some of whom actually used slave labor. It's been more than 200 years since then. Our mode of living in our society has evolved dramatically, and the contradictions built into trying to keep doing things the old way when it's a new life have just built up, and it's gotten to the point where we need to change it.
So a convention is nothing more than a chance for people to make a proposition about how our Constitution should be changed. And my view is that the control over what the future of our Constitution looks like has been monopolized in a very narrow place, Congress, where the interests are fundamentally corrupted, in my view, by the way our political system works. So I'm pushing for a constitutional convention to facilitate a broader range of input and deliberation about how our Constitution should be changed. It wouldn't change the Constitution on its own. That has to be ratified by 3/4 of the states. But it would give a wider perspective on what might actually make this democracy work again. And I think that's the really critical objective.
My name is Scott Strelzik. I'm from Maryland. I am for an Article 5 convention, specifically to propose amendments, which is what the entire point of the Article 5 convention is for, primarily because my belief is Washington is broke and it will not fix itself. And so the framers of the Constitution put in a process for the states to propose amendments to rein in the power of the federal government. It's a peaceful way of accomplishing that change in the country, and I think we have finally reached the point where Congress will not fix or repair itself, and we the people working through our states and state legislatures must find a way to rein in the power of the federal government.
I'm Zephyr Teachout. I'm a law professor at Fordham Law School. I'm a friend of Larry Lessig's and have been interested in his constitutional convention idea for the last year or so. I am supportive in general, and it comes out of a fundamental faith in what people can do when they think, sort of, are put in a position to think thoughtfully about self-government. Our government is not responsive now, it's not fundamentally representative, but we're close enough that it's still possible to imagine that a convention, and there are enough of the traditions of self-government that it's still possible to imagine a really thoughtful and useful convention.
Hi, I'm Cenk Uygur, host of the Young Turks. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I just attended this conference actually on a constitutional convention, and I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great to talk to the conservatives, who I thought were much more reasonable than the media portrays them. And it was great to see what common ground we have. Do I believe that a convention is possible? Absolutely. Do I think it's the right thing to do? I come away convinced from this conference that, in fact, it is the right thing to do. We need an amendment, which I've been pushing for a long time. I don't think we're going to get it through Congress. So I think our only alternative is a convention where we get an amendment to clean up our politics and remove the unbelievable influence of money from politics.
We live in a time when America has forgotten one of the most fundamental principles of our nation, the right of alter and abolish. Congress is denying that fundamental right to all Americans. They have the right to a convention. And while there are arguments over technical aspects such as operations and how things are going to be called and under what terms and conditions, the fact remains that the Supreme Court, the founders, and the government have all settled these issues. as these people move towards wanting to get a convention, they will discover these universal truths, that a convention is to be called, that it is peremptory, that it is based on a simple numeric count of applying states, and that it is a criminal violation of oath of office by having mental reservations for the Congress to refuse to call. There are over 700 applications submitted by 49 states. The states have satisfied Article 5. Alexander Hamilton has stated this, and more importantly, James Madison stated it in Congress, that there is no vote, debate, or even the right to put it to a committee. Now, the time has come for people to understand there are two things that are needed to get any change: talent and the guts. You people viewing this video are going to have to decide not whether you have the talent, for that is clearly the right of the American people. They have the talent. They have the talent to run a convention. They have the talent to make sure that it doesn't become the runaway that everybody says they fears, but which is not possible because of federal laws and other precedents. The other part is the guts. Do you have the guts to force the government to do what it's supposed to do? If you do, then a convention will occur. If not, then you have no reason or basis to complain about the government doing the very same thing to which yourself, by your acquiescence, has occurred.
I am here at the conference at Harvard Law School in Boston to discuss the Article 5 convention process. We believe that our founding fathers intended that state legislators like myself would understand that we have an obligation under Article 5 to use that process when we see a federal government that is not addressing problems that need to be addressed. If ever there was a time in the history of our country when we should use Article 5, this is the time.
So I'm George Friday with the Bill of Rights Defense Committee. I know that a constitutional convention is an opportunity for regular people to come together to explore our shared values, our collective vision for what this country can be.
Hi, my name is Mark Meckler. I'm co-founder and national coordinator for the Tea Party Patriots, and we've just finished our conference on the idea or the potential of an Article 5 convention. And the reason that I came here today is because I believe politicians for too long have used social issues, party, class to divide us. Things that they use that they know cause us to dislike each other. Liberals versus conservatives, Democrats versus Republicans, pro-life versus pro-choice. Politicians use these things to their own profit to divide us. And if we're divided, then we hate each other and we focus on that instead of focusing on what the politicians are doing to us. And what they're doing is every day they're removing our liberty and they're picking our pockets. So I came here to speak to people all across the aisle, to have dialogue so that we can start to take the system back for we the people.
There are various political movements in America today which seek to exercise the ultimate right of Americans, that of alter and abolish. However, a citizen may characterize politics today as an overreaching federal government or as a government for and by corporations. Citizens from across the political spectrum recognize the risks and dangers to politics as usual. It is only the Article 5 Convention, on the authority of the Constitution, which has the ability to alter and abolish the status quo of institutionalized corruption.